Hello learners, welcome to today's mathematics class. My name is Ifeanyi Joseph, and in today's mathematics class we're going to be looking at the topic titled percentages. We're going to be looking at the topic titled what? Percentages. So in this class we're going to be looking at all about percentages, what percentages can be used for, and how can we calculate using percentages. So it promises to be a fun and exciting class. Please stay tuned and learn something new today. So like I said earlier, today we're going to be learning about percentages. For now, I have a question for you all. Where have you seen percent in real life? Like, what experience have you had that made you to think about percent or percentages? Please put down your answers in the comment section. Now, percentages are parts per hundred. Percentages are parts by hundred. Percentage especially is like a fraction, right? And the whole is what? 100. Now we have various parts in that whole. We have like 20, 30 over 100, 40 over 100. So they are like parts of the whole. They can be represented as fractions with a denominator of 100. They can be represented as fractions with a denominator of what? 100. So like I said earlier, they are essentially fractions and the whole is what? 100. So we have various parts in that whole. We can have like 20, 30. So when you want to write them down, you write them down as a fraction. But the denominator must be what? 100. Denominator must be what? 100. So you can have 5 over 100, 20 over 100, 30 over 100, 40 over 100, 50 over 100, and so on and so forth. So when you want to represent percentage, you represent them as what? Fractions with a denominator of 100. Now we want to look at some examples. Now, if we say 30% of the cookies have been eaten, that means it is what? 30 over 100. Remember I said they are written as fraction with a denominator of what? 100. So when we are saying 30% of something has been eaten, that means we're actually saying 30. Oh, that is a part of the whole, and the whole is what? 100. So that is 30 over 100. That means 30 cookies are gone or have been eaten. Now, percentages can be represented as fractions, like we said earlier, and since they are represented as fractions, they can be what? Simplified. Since they are represented as fractions, we can like simplify them, that is, reduce them to the lowest terms. Now, we're going to be looking at some examples of how we can do that. Now, there's a question on the screen. If we say 25% of a pizza has been eaten, now we have a pizza, it is a whole, and then 25%, that is a part of that pizza has been eaten. The first thing we're going to do is what? Write it out as a fraction. You know that we said we can represent percentages as a what? As a fraction. So we write it out as a fraction. That will make it to be what? 25 over what? 100. Now, we said that since it is a fraction, we can what? Simplify or reduce it to its lowest term. Now when you have 25 over 100, you can reduce 25 over 100 to the lowest term by dividing it with various numbers. For example, we can just divide this with by 25. 25 divided by 25 numerator 1, the denominator 100 divided by 25 will give us what? 4. So essentially we've reduced the fraction 25 over 100 to what? 1 over 4. So we can say 1 over 4 of the pizza is gone, or 1 over 4 of the pizza has been what? Eaten. So this is a clear way of how when you represent percentage as fraction, you can reduce it or simplify it to the lowest term possible. Now, having talked about how we can represent percentages as fractions, we can also represent percentages as what? Decimals. We can represent percentages as what? Decimals. So let's look at an example together. On your screen, you can see an example. Let's say we have 20%. When you're writing 20% as a fraction, it's going to be what? 20 over what? 100. Now that 20 over 100 as a fraction, you can also represent it as what? decimals. And when you represent it as decimals, when you do 20 divided by 100, it will give you what? 0.2. So that tells us that you can represent your percentages as what? Fractions. And you can also represent the percentages as what? Decimal. How cool is that? So it's quiz time, and I have a question for you. So, how do you write 60 over 100 as a percentage? How do you write 60 over 100 as a percentage? Please leave your answers in the comment section and I'll be sure to get back to you all. I hope you've enjoyed today's class on percentages. I look forward to seeing you in my next class. Thank you. Bye.